Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review for this morning's Newcastle United news. My name is Paul. I am joined by Billy, Bob, and Sam this morning. So welcome, everybody. And, well, as usual, if you do enjoy the show, hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you're new, guys. It is free to do so. But don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. You can become a member, of course, by hitting the join button just underneath the three of us. That, of course, will guarantee you in for prizes for the coming week. And, of course, you can super chat the channel by hitting that $ at the bottom of the live comments, which will guarantee your comment to be read out on this show. Good morning, my fellow co-hosts.
Good morning, and good morning to everyone in Viewerland.
Yeah, well, we're all in pretty jubilant mood this morning because finally, John Joe's come in with a super chat straight away. How wide the smile will be on Paul's face this morning. Absolutely. For once, it is good news. Good news, as James May used to say on Top Gear. The man who we featured on the very, very first Director of Football show is our man. It's announced this morning. Paul Mitchell is now our sporting director to replace the Snake Ashworth, and we couldn't be more chuffed with this. There is a lot of resentment amongst the Manx because they had wanted him originally, but he didn't go. Boo-hoo. But Newcastle United, as we did on our first Director of Football show, we were looking at possible guys to come in, and, of course, Mitchell is now the man. And we were absolutely impressed with what we saw when we went through all of his former clubs, all of his stats, etc. Now, he is moving to the Northeast next week. He has started his job already, and his first priority is this summer's transfer window. How exciting is this, Sam? I know he's not a player, but this is a huge coup for a sporting director.
I mean, revenge is best served cold. My gosh, this is immense. And I think a lot of people over the past few weeks, and I've been feeling it as well, we're not hearing a lot from the club. What's happening? And then, boom, Adidas release of the kit and that amazing launch that we had, the stadium renovations and expansions, the legalities that we've had to deal with behind the scenes over the Ashworth stuff anyway is taking a massive amount of time. And, this is why we're not hearing anything, because the ownership have been grafting the tits off behind the scenes and pulled this out of the bag. Amazing. Couldn't be happier.
And Billy, we should actually know by now that this is what Newcastle United tend to do. Everything goes quiet. People start getting worried, saying, "Oh, this is not happening. This is not happening. Where's our director of football, etc." But Newcastle United, as usual, these owners just keep things very, very quiet, very on the, this never came out. Nobody was aware until this morning that he was going to be announced as a sporting director. This has obviously been in place for some time because obviously he's moving up next week. He's already started the job. He's got, the summer transfer window is his first agenda. I mean, it's superbly exciting. And let's not forget, I know this is not an on-field player, like I've just said, but this is such a coup for Newcastle United to bring in such a well-renowned, respected name within the business.
Yeah, if you look at your CV, it's better than Aspworth, isn't it? And I'll say Aspworth, and emphasis on the Asp.
Yes,
it's the equivalent, really, in director of football terms, of Alan Shearer coming to Newcastle in 1996, isn't it? Turning down Manchester United, then going to Newcastle United. It's a fantastic move for us. Yeah. As I say, some of the players he's actually found and discovered have been fantastic.
Well, Son, Mane, and Kunku, Howe. I mean, this guy has a background.
Unbelievable. And as you said, the first show we did, I don't think we ever veered off really wanting Paul Mitchell from that first show we ever did.
Absolutely.
On football. Yeah. And we had good candidates along the way. We were getting enthused about one or two of them. But in the back of our minds, Paul Mitchell was always there. And I think even in the chat, our fantastic, knowledgeable chat, we're all saying Paul Mitchell's the man. So we've got to be pleased with that this morning. Coupled with the fact that Eric Ten Hag has now signed a new contract to Manchester United, which is hilarious. And he's saying, we've had a great 2 years. Really?
Well, if that's his great 2 years, good luck to him is all I can say.
And they're laying off 250 people, which is really, really sad. We'd have got about 50 bloody people as director of football or technical directors or what this that.
Yep. They're in the mud. And absolutely. I think this news this morning has made a lot of Manx jealous. coming out with, oh, he's terrible, he's this, he's that. No, because you guys wanted him. If you look back to the Man United tweets of old, back in February, March, you will see that you wanted Mitchell. Dan Robinson, thank you for your super chat. Where were all the in the know crowd for this then? Exactly. They know nothing. Alexander says, good morning from a hot Houston. Last week here before my move, and now I wake up to the news of Paul Mitchell. Absolutely over the moon with this. He'll bring in top players. Magpies United, let the summer begin. Trust our owners, says Edward. DNY says, I think the only disappointing is the Minty and Anderson sales. Would have liked to see Minty on the right wing. Well, look, it's gone now. We can't do anything about that. The fact of the matter is we had to do that for a reason. It's been done now, and we just have to move forward. We know now that Newcastle United have money to spend, and the players that Mitchell can get and identify. I mean, this changes everything for me for the transfer window. It changes everything. Jens, thank you for your super chat. He says, this is excellent news to wake up reading this. It certainly is, my friend. Davey says, terrific appointment. Got a feeling he's been working behind the scenes for a while. Income. And I think that's the thing, Sam. The fact that Newcastle have announced that he's already started the job. He's immediately started. He's moving next week. So that must have been in place for a while because, it's all happening very quickly, but for us as fans, it's happening very quickly. But for the club itself, there may be, it just hasn't happened quickly. This has been in the pipeline for a while. Once the Dan Ashworth deal got sorted, then they sort out Paul Mitchell.
Yeah, certainly. And the sort of compensation for Ashworth goes towards funding this. Like, how fantastic is that? It's just made the deal all the sweeter. And let's face it, when someone like Mitchell calls for, interest in players and clubs, that's a call that you are going to answer. His CV is exceptional for his age. I think that he'll really suit the club, the project, the multi-club experience that obviously have enticed the ownership as well. But his time actually working in recruitment is going to be phenomenal for us. Like he likes data, he uses data, but he's actually he looks at attitude, and that's what Eddie does as well. So I think this is going to be a really fantastic pairing and so much more successful than what we had with Eddie and Ashworth. So I just think we're all elated about this one.
Yeah, and Baz Down Under makes a point there, Billy, that everybody wanted Mitchell, and they did, because we saw a lot of clubs and a lot of media linking Mitchell with jobs, not just in England but all over Europe. From very, very big teams in Europe as well. So this guy has been well and truly headhunted over the time he's been available, and the fact that he's chosen Newcastle, he's turned down some huge clubs, and the fact that he's turned down Manchester United is the best one of all. And now we've got him, and it's just an incredible feeling because it gives you that boost to what people. Panicking over the transfer window, but there's still 2 months of the window left. And I guarantee that he's already been doing some homework behind the scenes.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you look at his past record, it's second to none. It's better even than Ashworth's. And Southampton, some of the players he brought in for them, and everyone says Southampton, well, championship club, but do you think that some of the players that they've sold in the past 5 or 6 years, 10 years maybe, Spurs brought some great players in for them too. So it's just really positive news for us, and we can kind of look forward to some marquee signings that he can bring into the club, maybe at kind of half the price that we're expecting, because they're not so much in the public eye at the minute. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
And Alexander makes a very good point there. Darren Eales, he will have played a big, big, big part in getting Paul Mitchell to Newcastle United. And it was only yesterday that people were on the show calling them all sorts of different names, saying, where is Darren Eales? What is Darren Eales doing? What is his role? Well, one of his roles would have been bringing Mitchell in, and he's pulled off a massive coup. So, let's give Darren Eales a lot of credit here, because getting Mitchell in is incredible for Newcastle. Kev says, Ten Hag at the wheel. Well, they did beat us in the cup final and won the FA Cup this year. We'd kill for that, but we're glad he's staying, as their football's awful. Yeah, but they get lucky. They do get lucky. I mean, the cup final, they played well. I'm not going to deny that. They did a job on Man City. But look, I don't care about Manchester United, quite frankly. All I'm caring about now, Sam, is moving forward with our new sporting director and the CV that this man has that he's bringing to Newcastle is sensational.
Absolutely, and you know what? To that point, like I said earlier, like that's a call that you're going to answer from Mitchell. The talent that he can bring in, and typically liking to get in younger talent in, so that his ability to spot potential and getting it in at, you know, far better prices, which can stretch our budgets for us, you know, recruiting much more smartly, you know, using what we have well. It's good. He's going to make our money work smart and work for us with long-term prospects, which is great. I've got no doubt that he'll be doing some fantastic work with the academy as well. We've started to see some signings coming in for the academy and for the women's team as well. So it's just absolutely massive, you know, the cherry on the cake. I know that you said that you're not bothered about Man U, but isn't it wonderful that they wanted him, and it just flies in the face of it?
No,
Lovely.
I'm not bothered about Manchester United as a football club, but I do laugh at the fact that, you know, this guy has turned them down.
I think it's no coincidence that they've announced this news about Ten Hag's contract today to take us off the yellow ticker. Honestly, I believe that.
Well, of course it is, but you know what the media is like. They go with what suits them, and of course, if Manchester United weren't on the ticker, they'd be hell on, because they try and rule everything. John Joe, thank you for another super chat. My two favourite Pauls, both to do with NUFC. Thank you, mate.
Gallant and Dummit.
Cheeky bastard, Billy. Shut up. Jock Barth, thank you for your super chat. I've heard rumours the rat fell face first in his cornflakes when he heard the news this morning. Aussie Mag, thank you for your super chat. He says, I say this with little respect. Shove it up your arse, Man United and Ashworth. Just finished watching your episode of Mitchell. Stato was excellent. Well, I can guarantee you guys that Stato is extremely excited about this signing. He was on the group chat this morning, very early doors once it was announced. I mean, he was giving it the big sort of TTR assemble and all of this, and making sure the show was going ahead. So yeah, it's really good news. And I suppose it's brilliant to be positive as well, because there has been a lot of, when we've done previous shows in recent days, people have been saying, what's going on? There's nothing exciting happening. We aren't linked with the big players. I guarantee you now things will change, because we will suddenly be linked with big players. And just be careful though, because if we are linked with certain players that maybe you've never heard of, just think of the Sons of the world, the Manes of this world, the Nkunkus, players that this guy has brought in and are now superstars. He has a knack for doing this, and that's exactly why Newcastle United have got this guy in. Alexander, thank you for your super chat. Fun fact, he doesn't bring injury-prone players. Well, Nkunku was out for a long time last season, but I do see where you're going. Of course it is. I mean, it's, certainly Mane stayed fit a long time in his Premier League career. Son is just, I mean, I've said various times in the past that I'd love Son at Newcastle United. I think he'd be a wonderful, wonderful player for Newcastle. But now, I guess maybe we can start looking big. Nick Thornton, member for 14 months. Thank you very much for your support, Nick. So Man United make 250 staff redundant, pay us the best part of 20 million for Green Fingers Cashworth, and we appoint Paul Mitchell. Perfect.
Carlsberg days, isn't it? It's one of them Carlsberg days.
Absolutely. Zishan, thank you for your super chat. Hi, guys. Normally I wake up about Sam and 5 a.m. That looked like Sam, I think. Normally I wake up about 5 a.m. and first thing I do is check Newcastle United news. Today I woke up at 11 a.m. and feel like the whole world knows this excellent news except me. Brilliant appointment by the club. Well, isn't it just nice, though, to have that feeling back again that, the owners are starting to change things around a little bit. Everybody was doom and gloom. We all wondered what was happening with the club, and then typical Newcastle United under these owners, they go and do something which just gives us that kick up the arse and just a little bit of a fizz again in the right areas. Avina, thank you for your super chat. When will this fan base learn some patience? Never. Charlie has been a member for 5 months. Hey, but shout out to Logan. He is off school today. He loves you all, especially his Billy.
Hello, Logan.
Hey, Logan.
Have a great day off school, mate.
Yeah, we'll let Billy say most of it, because obviously you're a Billy fan. I don't know why that would be, but there you go. Well done, Billy. Foxy's is delighted with the Paul Mitchell news. Will be our most important bit of business of the summer. Game changer. Definitely, Sam. Definitely a game changer.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think the important thing to remember about like us having patience is the types of moves that we have on our trajectory are things that take time to do and execute in business. We've got really shrewd business owners. Cards are kept close to the chest. You know, we don't want anybody knowing our plans, swooping in. And I think they've just played the past few weeks so perfectly well,
yeah.
and to come up with the goods is just been amazing. And I think as a fan base, we're elated. I feel like we're almost being drip fed good news, you know, the Sports Direct font coming down off the stadium, and although that seems quite small while we're just removing a sign,
Not
it's
for
the
us,
symbolism.
it's
No,
not.
it's
Not for us as fans. It's
no,
massive.
It is massive. It's the symbolism for things like that as well. The Adidas deal, they knocked the marketing for that video out of the park. Unprecedented sales for the shirt. You know, drip feeding the release of those as well, with what's to come down the line in September, August, and also the December releases, stadium expansions. And now this, like, he's going to bring in some really, really fantastic players. I did notice some comments, you know, in the chat talking about, you know, let's just see what he does. I think this guy's got a CV that we can all get excited about confidently. So I'm not shaking. I'm excited.
Come on, guys. Look, all you have to do is look what he's done. Get excited. There's nothing wrong with getting excited about this. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. And, you know, let's get excited about it. John Joe, thank you for your super chat. The next news from Man United fans will be that it's our fault. They had to make 250 people redundant due to the compensation they paid for us, for Ashworth. Spike, thank you for your super chat. Great news. People need to relax. The club is working hard in the background. No doubt about that. James Logan, who's been a member for 17 months now. Thank you for your support, James. What a great way to start the day. I love that none of the in-the-knows or journalists were on this. This is a process. We need to let it happen. How are the lads?
This
that's
is the
exactly
exact
what
thing.
it is.
The process of getting deals done, in the knows aren't in the know about them because they don't tell them. Everything's kept close to the chest, which is why it's laughable. These in the knows are spouting out the nonsense, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. We as a fan base are extremely emotional about our club. Nothing wrong with that. But it does lead to wild swings, roller coaster. Yeah, look, that's what makes the Newcastle fans so special, though, is that we are passionate. We are very emotional. We're probably right up there when it comes to passionate and emotional fans. But people seem to forget from other clubs what a torrid 15 years we had under Mike Ashley. And now we as fans, and certainly the younger group of fans who only knew things growing up under Ashley, are seeing things now, you know, that they're not used to seeing. You know, yes, the older fans, we've had it in the past, a little bit exciting stuff in the 90s and stuff. But now all the fans are getting to experience this again with big names coming to the club. You know, I've seen links to players already since the announcement of Mitchell this morning. So that will continue, and that will just ramp up over the next few days, because I have a feeling Newcastle won't want to hang around with any transfers. They'll want to get them in the door as quick as they can. Mitchell, I'm sure, will have already targeted players. He'll have already spoken to Eddie Howe. There's no doubt about that. But I think it's very important now, Billy, that we get a good working relationship between Howe and Mitchell.
Yeah, 100%. That's the most important thing of everything, to be honest. I always had doubts that him and Ashworth actually didn't get on. Kind of bit of disenchantment between the two, it seemed to me. I might have been reading too much into that. I'm pretty sure that this kind of appointment has been on the back of that. I think Eddie Howe would have had a say in what he wanted. And I think that then the two of them would know each other. I think that was kind of important. An important part of the deals for me. But even though you say about the youngsters having 15 years of heartbreak, really, what the previous owner did to us, even we've had nothing really, have we? No. We had the title of gallant losers in the 90s, despite being the most entertaining football side at this side of bloody Europe, you know. So even we're waiting for something. Someone wants success, as simple as that. I think Paul Mitchell may be the man to do it for us. Yeah.
Carlisle Tuna says, Paul, you would be pleased with Mitchell, and I think he's a great. Can Eddie work with him, though? I think so, but Eddie does like control, so a little worried about dynamics. Overall, good appointment. Look, there's always that element of worry, isn't there, when you get a new a new sporting director or a new manager. Can they work together? Will they be able to work together? I'm sure there's been a lot of conversations already behind the scenes with everybody, with management, with coaches, with staff. Everybody will have been involved in this. I'm sure they will have already met, before making this announcement public. Everything's been done behind the scenes and done very professionally, as we should now expect from these owners. I'm sure today, Sam, will have put a lot of fans' minds at rest that, despite us thinking as usual and panicking, but things are happening. Things are moving forward. The ball is rolling.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting one, isn't it? Because I think, we've questioned in the past, who does Eddie want? Who's going to get on with Eddie? Who's running the actual club here? I think is Billy mentioned, and I'm of the same opinion that relationship with Ashworth and Eddie was fractured. Mitchell operates on an entirely different level, extremely high level of sporting management on a global scale here. That says to me that he's got exceptional networking, communication skills. I think he's going to have a really thriving relationship with Eddie. I think particularly because he has an emphasis on player attitude and developing players, not just getting these huge price tag marquee signings in. He wants to be able to sign people for the future who's going to fit the club, fit the style, and fit the system as well. And that's what Eddie likes to do. So we're already seeing some mirrored values between these two leaders within the club. So I think it's a fantastic coup for the club, for the fans, for absolutely everybody, and hats off to the ownership for getting it done. We have been drip fed. It's all hope, but isn't that the game of football? Isn't that what we watch it for? To have that glimpse of,
listen, if we're drip fed, and every few weeks we are, Newcastle make an announcement of a big name, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. John Joe, thank you for another super chat. He says, I'm more excited, even more than the first time I did the deed. Okay. Alexander, thank you for your super chat. Changes start from behind. Exciting to start work from this. And Danzo08, welcome to Members Club. Thank you for your support, my friend. Mark says, fantastic. This feels like splitting from your cheating ex and then getting squared up with a supermodel. Well, I mean, there you go.
Get in.
Yeah. Anthony says, hasn't Eddie said before about getting players in early enough to work with preseason? He has, which is why I think we are really going for it. What an appointment, says Callum. First time watch a live show. Usually have to watch the recorded shows. Love your work, Toon Review. Thank you very much. Danzo says, don't become an almost $1 trillion consortium with loose lips.
Bang on.
Absolutely. And Billy's met his fair share of loose lips in the past. Ali B says, morning, guys. Catching up. Great news between this and the font changing. Buzzing, crack on now. Yeah, it's all about cracking on, Billy, isn't it? It's just now looking forward and seeing. I guess maybe in the next few weeks we will maybe find out what Newcastle United have been doing behind the scenes. Once they've announced the sporting director, then it's the start of really headhunting the players.
Absolutely. I mean, that'll be Paul Mitchell's remit, as well as all the stuff that we the training ground stuff and things like that, improving players' conditions, that kind of thing. I guess he'd be involved in the medical stuff as well. I guess he would be.
Yeah.
But he seems to me like he's more football orientated than what the previous Snake was. He was more of an administrator.
Possibly, yeah.
And possibly. I think Paul Mitchell's got, especially like Sam said, he's global. He's been all over the place, to do his work, with the Red Bull lot and that. So I'm really, really pleased with it. You can't not be pleased with this appointment. It's a fantastic one. It really is.
Anthony says, Stato's so excited he can't be on the show. We want to see his big smile. Well, he's got his full-time job. He's at work. So he can't be on the show. We don't give enough credit to the Saudis. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. Well, of course it wouldn't. If we were still under previous ownership, we'd be down in probably League Two now.
Albert Hickeybottom, the new sporting director.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pull him out of the social club. He's just finishing the bingo.
Somebody out with the last of the summer. Maybe he's getting Nora Batty in. Somebody like that. Aussie Mag, thank you for another super chat. Just say it, Paul. I can't. Billy, are you going to say it?
Well, trust the process.
There you go. All right, there you go.
And we have to trust the process, seeing this news, don't we?
Well, absolutely. England job, says Andrew. I think Mitchell might be a middleman to get a bigger name.
Listen, he's coming as a sporting director.
Yeah. But if the management position does come available, he will play a part in that, obviously.
Yeah, of course he will, but it's not going to become available.
Eddie's manager. Simple as that. John Joe, thank you for another one. He says, go and smash the like, guys, and don't forget to vote. Yes, don't forget to vote. Yeah, the Football Content Awards 2024. I'm going to keep rabbiting on this as long as the voting's open, guys. The link is pinned at the top of the description. Please go and vote for the Toon Review. Click on the link, fill your details in, and also put why you want to vote for the Toon Review. And also, the category to vote for is Best Content Creator - Premier League. So that is Best Content Creator - Premier League. That's the one to put us in. Please keep voting. Just throw your votes in there. We really want to get back and maybe come away with something this year. With you guys' help, we can. James says, hi, guys. In your opinion, what players will we see with Mitchell as sporting director? Good ones, is what I'll probably say. But like I reiterated before, Sam, I think it's important that we remember that this guy brings in youth as well. And listen, we've signed a couple of youth players within the last couple of days who have been announced. I think he's had something to do with them because these guys are talented players that have come into the academy. So we have to be aware that there will be names that we've maybe heard of, but not really big names. And, of course, the marquees as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it would be naive of us to think that these conversations and introductions haven't happened already in the background. I don't think today is officially the first start of the day job. This is somebody who's very driven to do a great job and make great signings, and typically the profile is younger players, but there's a massive benefit in that of recruiting people with great potential. Reducing the average age of the squad is very, very important as well. Obviously, less tendency to have injuries, which concerns us as a team. So yeah, let's not be shaken if it's like, question mark, who's this, and we're putting out a whole load of new sign-in shows because we need to understand about these players. He's got links all over the globe. So this is going to be a really exciting time. I don't doubt for a second that we'll still get that big name marquee signing, but we're going to be getting some really exciting talent through the door as well.
Yeah, the news is just going to roll on now. It is. It'll probably ramp up now. Probably ramp up. I mean, it's there every single day. It ramps up as soon as you get out of bed on a morning. Tristan says, let's remember Eddie doesn't run the club. Mitchell does now. He's Eddie's boss. They'll work together, Tristan. I don't think they'll look at it as a boss staff member kind of thing. I think they'll very much be working together. Can you imagine, says Gillian, the club in the future? It's going to be amazing. Absolutely. Would not surprise me if he was involved in the PSR sellings to get the maximum from it. Listen, I think he's obviously been working behind the scenes. There's nothing, and the thing is, Billy, there's nothing been stopping him working behind the scenes.
No,
he could have been working for Newcastle for a month for all we know.
Yeah,
and just hasn't been announced.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it might have been his decision that we had to sell players to stay within this PSR remit instead of taking the points deduction. And that we don't know. We're just surmising here. But and like Sam says, he's got global contacts. I mean, who goes to South Korea and signs players? Have we ever been linked with South Korean players? No, but I think we will be now. Japanese
absolutely.
Players and
Kubo!
Unknown ones, though. Unknown ones.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I mean, listen, he's very good at going to Asia, them types of continents, and finding players. I mean, Kubo. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps already, Sam. Kubo. maybe
Don't
maybe this
tease me
Japanese
with
trip,
that.
you know, it all might fall into place. I mean,
Just
you
the
never know.
stars are aligning. Oh gosh, behave yourself, behave.
By the way, we know absolutely nothing, but me and Sam are big fans of Kubo and would love to see him at Newcastle. That's why that's why we're saying it. Stephen says, guys, any news on the medical staff? Surely new staff got to come in. I hear Miley is injured again. Yes, Miley's out for around about 4 months, I think it is. It's a bad injury. It's a metatarsal, and we know they can be a pain in the arse. But Alexander's going to join us for a show in a few weeks, and he's going to explain how everything works behind the scenes. He's qualified in that side of things, so it'd be good to hear from him and get all the what the hell was that, Billy?
He's made a comment, and it's very cryptic, I think.
We have new stuff. Yeah, listen, Alexander, you need to listen.
Don't say I'm.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to say anything to me, or in public, Alexander. But you've got my email address, mate. Who are you working for? Because I have a hunch. Right? But I'm not going to say it out here. But I have a hunch. John Joe,
sound like you're going to start waterboarding him. Who do you work for? Put the light in his face. Find out.
I don't waterboard anybody. John Joe.
You've enjoyed it.
Billy, I knew you were going to. It's far too early for that. John Joe, thank you for another super chat. Paul Mitchell and Sam are both global gurus. Well, yeah, true. Sam does get around the globe. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
No way you would go with that, Paul.
I always speak very highly of you, Sam. You know, I'll never say anything. I mean, I could. Katie, good morning from Belfast. Hope you're well, matey. Is there a watch along tomorrow? Are we doing a game tomorrow?
Who's playing?
Well, it's the first quarter. Germany, Spain.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do it.
John says, watch the big names come in now, like Rafinha and all the big names. Mike says, vote for the Toon Review channel for best content channel on YouTube Premier League. Thank you very much. In Diogo Costa, Delit, Bellanova, Sancho, Miguel Gutierrez, Ndidi, Badu, out, Dubravka, Trippier, Target, Longstaff, Almiron, Wilson are my preferences. Listen, if that ends up being the transfer window, that will be incredible. But I don't think we're going to bring that many in. Certainly, you've got to be careful of money and things like that. So, players cost a lot of money in the positions that we're going for. However, Mitchell and his magic wand, I reckon. Don't say anything to that, Billy, at all. Barbara says, Paul, would you not, Sam, a TTO mug, she should be using it. Well, I mean, basically, she got that, she's aging now, which is why she's got Jurassic Park mug. Brian says, load of Eddie to give him the players and let him work. No divas, please. Eddie does not like. Aussie Mag says you didn't say my super chat. Yes, I did.
Say it again.
I absolutely did. Well, he sent in a couple. Just say it, Paul. I did. Billy said the rest of it because I refused to. Yes, so I definitely did read it out. Paul, someone told someone off yesterday discussing it. Told someone off? I don't know. Susan says Stato was ahead of the curve with this one. Well done. Well, I mean, we were ahead of the curve. We all sort of, Paul Mitchell was just the first in the list, but Stato's high as a kite today. I guarantee he's up there. He's swinging like a chimp through the trees. Put it that way.
He's good he's at work. Put it that way.
Sorry?
He's good he's at work.
Oh, he's absolutely devastated he's at work. He wanted to be on this show, but I have a feeling there'll be a show tonight anyway, Billy, because this news will rumble on. We'll get more details of everything. We'll get more player links. So I think there'll be a new show tonight anyway. Foxy says Mitchell will create a clear identity with the club. His talent is proven. Interesting to see if he keeps his format of signing players 23 or younger.
Yeah.
I don't see why that would change, Sam. I mean, that'll probably be his remit, but I guess there will be a couple of players over that age, but the majority that he'll be hunting for will probably be, stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, Foxy always talks a lot of sense, and I think typically the age profile that Mitchell does go for is these younger players, like we've discussed, not only because we can get them in at cheaper prices than it would be that if someone who has more experience, but it is about balance at the end of the day. We'll be looking to bring down that age profile, and with a happy byproduct of less injuries. So yeah, absolutely, it will be interesting to see what it looks like.
What did I say? I'm pretty sure I said best club content creator - Premier League.
Well, I think you did.
I did. Keith, best club content creator, then you've got a dash, and then you've got Premier League, because there's best club content creator Football League as well. It's Premier League we want to go for. So I've said it a million times.
Can we vote multiple times, by the way, Paul?
Yes,
I think so.
Can.
I think there's a few people voted multiple times.
Just refresh your cookies, and multiples are very much on the order of the day.
Yeah, just refresh your cookies, guys. Remember to do that, or clear your cache, whatever it is, and then you can vote again. Great channel, and keep up the great work all the way from Cape Town in South Africa. Wow.
Hello, Mick. Hope you're doing well.
Cool.
Yes, lots of sharks over there, though. Hey, I just saw that there's a possible sighting of a great white shark off the coast of Ireland yesterday, the other day. Ireland!
Good grief.
Yes, they're coming closer, Billy. Tangy says, absolutely. I can't see Eddie Howe managing England until he is older. Right now, he likes a full-time job. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he would completely miss the day-to-day running of a club. And let's face it, he's still relatively young as a manager. He's got a long way to go yet. And let's just hope he is a legend at Newcastle United and brings in the trophies. I'm convinced he is. Chuffed, says Susan. Only worry is how he gets on with Howe when he's attached to certain players that should be moved on. Trust Howe has his reasons, but this guy can help see the bigger picture in certain circumstances. Yeah, I don't doubt that for a second. Not for a second. James Morrison, thank you for your super chat. West Ham discarding Paqueta. We need a centre midfielder, I think. I wouldn't touch Paqueta with a barge pole right now. After what happened with Tonali, they will not touch Paqueta with a barge pole right now. I guarantee it. Nick Thornton, thank you for a super chat. He says, can't wait for Cashworth to leave Man United for Arsenal or Chelsea for the Monk fans' meltdown to be complete. Oh.
That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's dream. Let's dream. I dream a dream. Andrew says, Tang, I hope you don't, but I don't want to jinx it if you know what the club's look is like. A marquee right wing is now definitely on the card, says JT Toon. More so now that he is here. Kubo, Gonzalez, or Rafinha would do nicely. Hell yeah, this just got a lot more exciting. Absolutely. And that's the word of the day, exciting, because we can bring in some big guns now. We can attract the big guns. This guy's got the cojones to bring in the big guys. He won't take no crap. He'll just go out, he'll do it. And I don't think we'll hear much about it, to be honest. I think the way that they're keeping the cards close to the chest, the way everything's gone so far, it's happened again today. Everything's quiet. Bang. They just release a statement saying that he's taken the job, he's already working, and he's moving up to the Northeast next week. It couldn't get any better than that. That is the show for this morning, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in and being part of the conversation again. It is fantastic news this morning for once. It's not like, are we only going for him? Are we only going for him? No, we've gone for the big gun, and the big gun will bring in the big bullets. Let's just hope and pray. But the news will unravel in time. I'm sure we'll be back tonight, guys, 7 o'clock. It's going to be another brilliant show because, Alex will be on beaming. He'll be smiling like the Joker from Batman. He literally will have a smile that wide. John Joe, thank you for another super chat. He says, Paul, was the result of Man City case against Premier League not due like last week? They said 3 weeks initially, or are they just not releasing the result? Nothing's come out yet, to be honest. Again, we'll keep an eye on that.
Taking that long to get through the charges.
Yeah, well, there's 115 of them. Yeah, we're taking probably a year to get through them all. But thank you very much for watching, guys. It is great news, like I say. Thank you for your super chats and memberships. Mods, thank you. And, of course, Billy and Sam, thank you very much as well. But thank you to you guys in your droves again this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to bring you good news and positivity. So it's been a cracking show, and I'm sure tonight will be as well. More positivity, more excitement, and let's just hope there's even more good news to come. But thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day, guys. See you soon.
All down the Vic for light and bitter.
Come back and check out some green.